And let's take a look at what we've got here. I think it's all on screen, so let's go. All right. We have, it's being called Jeskai Superfriends. I think that is mainly due to the three basics are obviously in Jeskai colors, but predominantly the deck is in the Jeskai colors. We do have a couple Okos in here splashing into green, and then we have Grixis colors with Bolas. So we splash into black as well. Kind of an interesting mana base, if I'm very honest. A couple interplanar beacons as well to hopefully smooth those pieces out so that we're able to cast everything. Let's double check that Nightbot is working. Oh, it is. It is. All right. Let's talk about the deck. Let's then get into some games, because who knows how long we've got tonight before the guest arrives. Everything a go? It looks like it. All right. Jeskai Fire's Superfriends. The gist of this deck is to play Fires of Invention, followed by Planeswalkers, as you can see. And I've highlighted the deck because I'm basically playing only Planeswalkers. And go from there trying to win things with Oath of Teferi, letting you double activate. And then also just Okos and Nicobolases, Jaces, Chandras, Nicobolas, Elspeth, Narset, Teferi, all the walkers. We're basically trying to overwhelm our opponents with card advantage through these walkers. Really activation advantage. We have a set of Supreme Verdicts in here and a set of Deafening Clarions. These are our Angers and our Verdicts, or our Wraths of the deck. And then we have a set of Fae of Wishes here as well to go grab things from the sideboard. Basically, in many cases, this is just going to be going to get what piece we need to help shore up the match during Game 1 and might come out for Game 2 and 3 depending on what we're wanting to bring in. Yeah. Pretty straightforward deck in terms of what it wants to do. Probably not very straightforward in the games. So with that, we'll go ahead and just jump right into a league and hope we find ourselves figuring it out as we go. Bam. Let's go. Let's play some Magic. It is Friday Night Magic here on the stream. And thank you for joining us tonight. The one trick here, we don't want to run into Avaros. I think that would be an awful matchup. We'll try to avoid that fella. All right, so we have Oko. We have a Temple that would let us scry. We have two of our Mega Walkers here. Any fast deck's going to beat us here with this hand. I don't think I want duplicates of Planeswalkers, and I surely don't want my 6 and 5 drop here. Go ahead and mulligan, even though it had 3 lands. This one looks pretty decent. We can do the Nicobolas away, keep the lands here, and see where we go. Blocker if needed. Teferi's a fairly decent one here. We'll lead with Temple as well. Alright, so we have a fast deck here, as mentioned. See if we can't find what we need in terms of removal. This scry, I'm going to put this on the bottom. We're already drawing the next card by scrying that to the bottom. We're probably playing something in tapped, based on my opponent being mono red. Copter here, kind of like that. A little bit of a difficult card for us to deal with. I sort of want to play the Fae of Wishes down because it will prevent damage. We would be shocking in twice in a row. I wonder if that's worth it. Let's go ahead and go for it. So we're going to cast this. Although it'd be nice to get a Clarion off of this, I kind of like this play. I might be bouncing with Teferi this Smuggler's Copter and seeing if I can keep my opponent on their back foot. Boots up Smuggler's Copter. I think this is a fairly easy block. If they would like to send something at Fae of Wishes, I'm pretty okay with that. Preserve our life total here. And a Pile Driver plus Skirk. Alright, luckily I got a land that I don't have to shock in for. This will have protection from blue. Skirk's kind of annoying. We're probably just trying to find a sweeper here. So bouncing Smuggler Copter seems like the best plan here. There's our sweeper. Nice. Alright, so we have the sweeper here. That is what we wanted. We can put one of these into play tap. They're probably attacking at least Teferi here with something. Probably Pile Driver to make sure it gets through here. They might just ignore me too. They do just ignore me. So I guess I want to block the most damage here. 7, 8, 9. Just a few points of damage. Alright, land and copter. Land and copter. Alright. I'll put this into play tapped. This is going to make them what? First strike and trample. So, play this tapped. Uptick here. And plan to play Clarion on their turn. Let's see if we can wipe the board here. Wiping the board is the most ideal thing to be doing here. Boots up Mutavault. This is the Mutavault that is all summoning sick. If they boot up this Mutavault, we're going to look real good here. Woohoo! We're about to ruin them. Before attacks, let's go ahead and do everything. There we go. Board is wiped. I do have lifelink just for a brief moment here. Skirk is in play. Alright, I don't think this is worth a shock here. We can just go up again, tap, land, pass turn. I feel like my opponent kind of overcommitted there. They didn't need to. I don't think they needed to. We can definitely block this. That seems like an okay thing to block if need be there. Just tap lands in. We'll go up again. I think we can wait on Oath of Teferi here. Foundry Street. And Bushwhacker. Let's just go ahead and clear the board. We'll do it off of a Clarion again. That way I keep it a defender. This way I don't have to necessarily not Oath here. So this turn I could Oath because they can play one thing. Temple and Oath. Down tick, up tick here. Seems fine. Okay. Clarion's coming in here. Probably the Supreme Verdict as well. Maybe Sarkon comes in here. I think Merciless Eviction is a little high. Let's find out what cards we want to be pulling out here. So I think Eslepth is a great card. Chandra's fine. It's a board wipe. Seven damage to each. To target opponent, each creature an opponent controls or planeswalker. So this is like not a board wipe necessarily. I could see where Teferi was good that game, but I don't necessarily need to be doing things at instant speed. I think Drawn from Dreams is a nice card. We could keep Teferi in, Drawn from Dreams, and bring these in. We're just looking to hit our sweepers, really. I don't have anything that names Copter necessarily and removes it very well. I can leave the Fae of Wishes in and then get my Merciless Eviction if it becomes a problem. I could also take out one of these Nicoboluses here, name Unmoored Ego and name Copter. I kind of like that as just an alternate option here. Now that I'm thinking about it, how do I even cast that card? We'll find out, because I have it in hand. We'll keep. Maybe we'll check in with Avaros here and be like, how do you cast this card? I don't think there's black in the deck. Alright, Temple of Enlightenment. Let's see here. Again, we'll go with this to the bottom. I think I need another white for my Supreme Verdict here. I have the red and the white. This Teferi's way up here. This card's not getting cast, is it? I think there's a problem. There's Copter again. Well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Alright. Sacred Foundry tapped past turn. Let's see how much they want to commit this time around. We'll definitely plan to Supreme Verdict into Clarion. Or sorry, Clarion into Supreme Verdict. Boots up Legion. Boots up Mutavault. Hits for 5. It's pretty good. I have to imagine they'll commit something extra to the board here. That'd be really disciplined if they don't. I need another blue land here if possible. So let's go ahead and Clarion here. We're going to do that so that they have to commit something extra to the board here. I don't think that it's going to matter too much, though. Ringleader. Marin, what's up? How's it going, Marin? Just chilling quietly here. Wondering about card choices. It's a tap land, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and play the tap land. It gives us our blue, though. Let's bottom Supreme Verdict. I have a Supreme Verdict here. I also can play that beacon down and bounce something. New Pokemon game. You can play the Pokemon game on stream. Denizen. We're gonna get smashed here, aren't we? War Chief. Hits for 6 here. 7 technically. You don't have a capture card. I'm sorry. So we're getting hit for 7. There's nothing we can do actually here. Yeah, we'll have to just concede here. I can board wipe, but I still have a Copter that's going to beat me down. Not good enough. We got to get you a capture card. Alright, alright, alright. How is this card cast? Hold on. Alright. Quick. We're going to go ask. Gonna go ask. Let's go find out. Let's find out how. Here you go. We're asking. We're asking. Hold on. Here we go. We're gonna get our answer.
Never casting Verdict? No. Let's put back a.
Come on, Boros. Tell us how you do this.
No, because Jace is like, oh, like I don't know. I feel like one of these. Okay, we'll put back in the Jace helps me find that fires, though. I don't know. This hand sucks. this hand is unfortunate. Drawn finds fires. Jace finds fires too.
Oh, it's gonna be fires. Okay. I don't need to know anymore. We can cast it off fires. Technically. We'll find out if he ever respawns later. You got an Elgato for Xbox, and I got a for Nintendo 64, but nothing for Switch. The Elgato should work for the Switch. Assuming it is an Elgato card in your PC. Should work for the Switch. You have to have it docked. You have it docked, and you put it in, and most capture cards have an in, and they would put it into the machine, but it has an out as well, and the out should go to your monitor that you want to play it on. It has to be just docked, that's all. Alright, we'll leave on Mordigo in. Not really. I don't know, guys. Let's bring a Narset in. This Mordigo feels bad. I already dislike this card completely. Don't take Evan's advice. Alright, let's play first. That's very important here. Alright, so we have a Teferi. We have the right cards, but just no blue. We're gonna have to mulligan this. Well, this is kind of cool. Minus lands, so we'll mulligan this. Alright, this hand works. How do we make this hand work the best way? We're gonna keep this. We can't actually cast Deafening Clarion or Fires. I have to get rid of 2 cards here. I need to keep the Clarion. I can probably ditch a... I almost want to ditch 2 lands here, because this Teferi could bounce something. Keep Fires, ditch other non-lands. I could ditch to... I'm on the play. This is a true statement. I have a Temple here as well. I could just Teferi ditch plus Plains ditch here. And hope this Temple finds me what I need. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Needing red mana. There's bonus Teferi. Do I want bonus Teferi here? It's a tempo play later. Alright, I'm going to put it on top. Mainly because we got rid of one. And it gives me a turn 3 and it draws me a card as well anyway. My opponent didn't have a turn 1 play, so that looks really good for us. So what are we working on, Marin? What's the next video? You can put your video link in if you want. Search Marin MTG, folks. Search it. You want to be awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and go up here with Teferi. I don't really know what my opponent's doing. Nasty Red. Nasty Red has no play before turn 3 here. Rabblemaster is fine here. We can Fires and Deafening Clarion. Tickles Teferi briefly. Alright, you can cast spells only during your turn, and you can cast no more than 2 spells each turn. So I can't get this Jace down this turn. But we can go up here, we can shock this in. We can play Fires. We can Deafening Clarion. With Fires of Invention, 3 damage. And I can't play this because that's my second spell. Sorin Slivers. Oh boy, I've heard about that. I've heard about that. So this is kind of an interesting interaction where we have a Teferi and a Fires here. Hopefully this Jace can find what I need. I need another board wipe here. Tickles Teferi again. Alright, so we can cast this with Fires. Let's look for a board wipe. We don't find one. I can play this Oath of Teferi down. If I do that, I could down tick this and then up tick it, and it's probably pretty safe. Let's go ahead and down tick first. There's a Clarion. I probably can now save this Clarion. Shock in to Teferi. And because I'm doing this, I'll be able to up tick. I guess I don't have to. I can just cast with Fires of Invention. I didn't have to shock. under its control at the beginning of the next end step. So I can just flicker this and then uptick this, and that'll keep everyone safe. Everyone's gonna be safe. I'm figuring it out. All right, Teferi's back. We have a Jace. We have a Teferi. My opponent's never going to kill me. So we get double uptick Jace here and just bounce the most problematic creature every turn. This is feeling reasonable, especially since I have the Clarion. If I don't want to be bouncing anything, I can just Clarion out this Rabble Master my opponent's got. And if I want to cast something extra, I guess I can like cast 2 things, bounce fires, cast something else. I don't know. Many options. Many options. Fries Jace. Okay. That was pretty good. This still happens where nothing actually happens here. Okay. I kind of just want to uptick twice here. And then just board wipe casually. We can just float awesome mana and everything. So I can use Teferi to down tick here on this Rabble Master to put it back in hand briefly. And we can uptick again. They're really going after this Teferi, and I don't know if that's where they're supposed to be concentrating their efforts here. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So bounce Rabble Master for the moment. Up. Eslepth. Search. Make some dudes. Make some dudes. What? What? Is that even a thing? Oh my gosh. Opponent's done. Wow. Oh yes. Use this twice. Look, how many deep is it? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Followed by 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Put Teferi and Sarkon probably in our hands. Yeah. Okay. This did something. I like this. All right. Observation. Unmoored Ego probably just stays in the sideboard because it's literally impossible to cast, as does Elder Spell and Plague. They're interesting, but they require Fires of Invention. I haven't decided if they have to come in and then you just have to have Fires plus them, or if you're supposed to do something else with them. I don't know. Getting a Fires of Invention plus Teferi and then doing the Fae of Wishes into Possibility Storm is really interesting too, as a nifty hard block for our opponents, depending on board state. All right, let's play first. I'll keep. Sure. Sure. I have a 1 too many fires, but we'll find our land and go to town from there. If I need the blocker, I've got a blocker. Otherwise, we'll be finding probably something. I knew I was going to enjoy this list. I think we did some very incredible things. Alright, Temple of Epiphany. Yield this trigger. Scry a land at the top. I might even scry a board wipe. There's a Teferi. I'm so tempted. Alright, we're gonna put it on top. Cause I'm just gonna hard lock them out. Maybe. Temple of Enlightenment for my opponent. Alright, we'll just put Glacial Fortress in tapped here. We're two lands away from really mean things. Really mean things. Alright, tap land, go ahead, opponent. We'll see, maybe they have some counters. Alright, take care, Marin. The irrigated farmlands here. Well, I feel okay getting this down. We'll go for it. We'll see if they have a counter. Stack should be over here. Nice. Uptick. Alright. So we are literally 2 turns away from just hard locking our opponent here. And if we do that... Uh-oh. Creatures. Creatures aren't allowed. What is this? Elvish Rejuvenator. We could beat that. We can beat that. Okay. I feel confident in our ability to potentially beat our opponent here. They could field us. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Alright. Fires it is. We'll put down a Jace. Look for cards. I will probably take this land, honestly. Because then I can Fae of Wishes and Possibility Storm. I will gladly take this. Yes. This pile is great. We'll just uptick here and pass the turn. We're going to keep our Teferi ready and able here. And then we're just going to spin the wheel a whole bunch with Possibility Storm and see what we end up into. I wonder how many other sorceries I have here. We also might just have to get the Plague. Maybe that's just the smarter play. I think getting Plague is probably the smarter idea here. How many sorceries do we really have, though? We have Deafening, Drawn... So we have other things we could accidentally hit off Possibility Storm. So we're going to have to just do this Field of the Dead shenanigans. Blast Zone's a problem for us. We'll deal with that, hopefully. Hey, XJ Cloud with the vintage, folks. Coming in hot for the Pioneer Fires. How's it going? Does 1 here, that's fine. That is fine. All right. Let's Temple of Epiphany, Scrying. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put on top of our library. We can then Teferi. Well, I didn't know what I was doing for 5 straight rounds. 4-1 though. Ooh. Flickering. Let's flicker. Let's flicker a temple here. We can uptick. I can do 1 more of these if I wanted to. I could get the granted. Then what can I get from my sideboard that would interest us here? I don't have anything that would stop the Blast Zone. I do have stuff to get rid of the zombies next turn. I think we just go up here with this one, with Jace. We can then bounce something here, and we'll just Fae of Wishes. I would like to go get something here. It's probably got to be a Plague, right? Because I have nothing else that really... I mean, I could get Sarkon here as a win condition, possibly, as well. Maybe Sarkon just makes more sense than the Plague. We're going to do Sarkon here. We'll uptick with Teferi since we've already bounced. Past turn, we're going to get a Scry here as well. 4-1. With that vintage stuff. Pretty good stuff. Alright, we'll bottom this. We already have another land here. So we didn't need to go get Plague. Blast Zone's going up to 3 or 4 probably here. I can keep Jace going, and I have backup Jace here. I can always do this for 2. So we have the field zombies taken care of. We need to just see how do we close this game. And I think that's where this Sarkon's going to come into play. We can also start using Chandra as a way to really close this game out with her emblem. These attacks do nothing, though. Plenty of triggers. We might have something put together here for this lovely opponent. So 1, 2, 3. They can add 3 counters here. Jace is definitely going up twice. Looks like that's what they're doing. Sphinxes for 4. Okay, so we get to keep Jace actually for an extra turn here. Alright, so Jace is definitely uptick twice here. We're going to play the beacon. Uptick twice here. Stops all the zombies. I'm going to uptick Teferi twice here. I don't think I need to draw another card here. And then let's play Chandra Awakened Inferno, gain 2. And we will give him 2 emblems. 2 emblems seems very kind of us. And then we'll cast Sarkon. We're going to use the down tick here for once, and then uptick the other time. And then uptick, and now we have Teferi and Jace, technically Chandra as well. They're all red. They're all ready to bash. Boom. Okay. This kind of damage plus the emblem should close this game out relatively quickly. We should be fairly protected here because of the double pump on Jace. If they have a way to remove this, that's fine this turn, because then I have a second Jace here as protection. I like this. This is nice. Although it's taking more brain power than I wanted tonight. We'll see. We'll see what they've got. Ugin's card. Ugin is a card. Dang it. Okay. So everything gets board wiped here. They do the field stuff. Well, I'm not getting double Jace activations, but I could do a single one here. They do have Chandras to deal with. Okay, so cast fires. We can then follow this up with a Jace, or we can follow it up with just a Supreme Verdict. I kind of like just casting the Supreme Verdict here. They're going to take 2. And then we can do Jace plus and find another board wipe. So let's do it that way. Let's do it that way. So they'll go to 8. Design Monkey Boy boo. Boo to the Ugin. Or boo to us. Alright, more Field of the Dead. Much dead field. 3 damage to us. Okay. They're going to be at 6 here soon. Chandra's good. Alright, let's do a Scry. I actually don't mind this card. So let's cast Fires of Invention, Jace here. I could technically go up. If I go up here, it might die to Blast Zone. Let's go ahead and reveal cards instead. Let's plan for our next turn here. Teferi had drawn from Dreams. I think I keep the Drawn from Dreams here. Put those on the bottom. And then I can cast this with Fires as well. And that'll set us up for next turn. 2 things here. Question is, what 2 do we want? Well, what do we want? I can destroy the Planeswalker, which is probably fine, and then just another Drawn from Dreams. Let's take Nicol Bolas. Let's take another Drawn from Dreams here. No more things to cast this turn. Go ahead, opponent. So they'll be at 6 now. So it looks like what they're going to do here is put this on to 4. Oh, nope, Sphinxes. Okay. Well, I liked our line attacking with Sarkhan and everything, but the Ugin kind of ruined that. Alright, so they deal 3, get rid of Jace. They can hit us for 6 here. I'll probably start with the Drawn from Dreams and see where we go. Maybe get the Nicol Bolas down to kill this. I don't know yet. Growth Spiral. So they're just going to make a lot of tokens here. It's a lot of tokens. So I need Drawn from Dreams to find me like a Wrath effect here. What's interesting is if they get rid of my Fires of Invention, I can't actually cast Nicol Bolas currently. I don't have enough black mana. Not great. My opponent's just dumping all their lands here. Got a couple lands. More lands. All the lands. I'm glad I gave them 2 emblems. It's making this game a little bit close. Alright, so they decide to hit us for 6. We'll take it. Let's see here. Best thing to find would be a Sweeper here. Then I could Nicol Bolas and Sweeper. Ugin's mean. Plays a Teferi. That's fine too. Bounces Fires of Invention. That's fine, but not great for us. So now I have to like Drawn plus a Sweeper here. So if we do blue, blue, like this, I have white, white, blue still. So we can Drawn and look for a board wipe. Wow, I don't hit a board wipe at all. I guess I can get an Oko here. Problem is I can't cast Oko. I mean, I guess I'm taking Oko anyway. And a Temple of Epiphany. Now that I tap this way, I can't play my Oko. Very awkward. Let's see what's on top of the deck. We were hoping that Drawn would find me something. All right. Well, that didn't work very well. Oh, it was the next 2 cards. I see. I see. I see. All right. Alpine Moon seems reasonable here. I think an Unmoored Ego is also fine. Elder Spell could be interesting. We probably can leave that in the side. I think I want to leave Fae of Wishes here to grab the Plague. We could bring Sarkhan in as well. And get rid of really our Nicol Bolases. And do Alpine, Unmoored Ego, and the Sarkon here and try to close the game out. We probably don't need as many Supreme Verdicts. I could probably get rid of something in that department. Maybe bring in a Narset. Okay. We'll try this. Yeah, I don't feel like I need as many verdicts. I need like an Ashiok. Ashiok would be a decent one here too. Prevent all the searching that's going on with our opponent. They're checking out their deck too much here. They need to stop them for sure. All right, let's play first. Sweepers and Azcanta. All right, we'll keep this. Maybe we can get something going pretty quickly here. Try to find an Alpine Moon would be nice. Temple. We can bottom that at Azcanta. We don't need a second one. Probably a Shock in Hallowed Fountain, perhaps. There's the Grazer. Not too worried about that. It's just a ramp spell. Lumbering Falls is a bit of an annoyance. Let's go ahead and Shock in here and play it as Azcanta down. Go ahead, opponent. We'll see how fast they ramp here. You can see ramp being a little bit of a difficult one. I thought we had the game locked out, but I guess when they played Ugin, we lost kind of our next turn kill. Goes to second main in order to play this Growth Spiral. Gets a Field of the Dead down already. I'm going to say no. I would like to keep that card. Sacred Foundry tapped, pass turn. So the way we get around this Lumbering Falls is to Teferi, uptick, and then get to cast Supreme Verdict or Deafening Clarion. That's, I guess, not really possible with Fires of Invention. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So we're looking for an Alpine Moon for this Field of the Dead, probably. I'll say no. Play our Fires of Invention here. And then we'll play a Narset here as well. And get to use Narset's ability. Gain a little bit of this life back as well. So we can get a Jace or we can get Drawn from the Dreams. I kind of want to just get Jace and keep upticking. Let me grab Jace here because I will have the Narset down tick one more time. And we can do Jace plus a Supreme Verdict here. I'm afraid of an Hour of Promise here and then them just getting a bunch of these Field of the Deads. So maybe Narset digging much deeper would help me, and I could just name Field of the Dead and get this game over with. We'll see. We'll see. Azcanta's not doing a whole lot for me. Nothing's in the yard at the moment. It'll be all right though. I expect this to tag this Narset for one. Search. An island is nice. I only have 4s here. Let's put this one into our graveyard. Okay, so there's Teferi. This is a 3/3. It's a 3/3. Keeping Narset around is kind of an interesting thing to potentially be doing here. What if we cast Jace? This is what, 4? They'd spend their whole turn on Lumbering Falls. I kind of want to keep Narset in some way. So what we could do here is let's cast Jace. Let's down tick. There's the Alpine Moon. I would like that card, please. Can I have this card, please? Alpine Moon? Thanks. So we'll take Alpine Moon. I could play this Teferi. I could then bounce this. I could board wipe. Trying to think of a way to make sure I don't lose anything crazy here. Let's cast with Fires of Invention this Teferi. Let's go ahead and bounce the fires here. Oh, if I bounce, I can't go at instant speed. Shoot. If I bounce this, I can play Alpine Moon. I could name Lumbering Falls. Let's just clear the board. If I clear the board here by bouncing fires, then next turn I can do some other stuff to them. Let's go ahead and bounce fires. Let's continue this line. This line feels like the winning line to me. I can even do this off of a Supreme Verdict now, which is what I'll do. So now we can Supreme Verdict here, and then I can Alpine Moon, naming Field of the Dead. Or do I want to name this Lumbering Falls? I probably name Field of the Dead still. If I name Lumbering Falls, they can't really do a whole lot, though. Let's name Lumbering Falls, just for this turn. And I'm not going to draw with Narset because they have Sphinx's Rev and some other draw spells. Let's go this line. Let's see how it plays out here. So Lumbering Falls is just a wee little any color land. I have 2 removal spells, and I think with Jace as well, and just kind of like churning through our advantage with Search for Iskanta, this feels okay. It feels okay. I know that an Ugin is just one step away from ruining my day here, especially if they Hour of Promise this turn. So they're going to get 2 more lands here, and they're going to be 1 away from Ugin. I almost need to spike an Unmoored Ego off the top. If we lose, it'll continue my track record of almost never beating a field deck. Alright, so we have a Blast Zone here. That's at 1, which is kind of annoying. It does get rid of Alpine Moon. Okay, 2 zombies to deal with. Iskanta. Put that in our graveyard. This is a nice one. This lets me double activate stuff again. Alright, so we get fires down. Play Oath. We will flicker Narset here. Uptick, uptick. And then uptick, uptick. Okay. So we keep Lumbering Falls in check for a turn here. We can uptick, downtick with the Alpine Moon. And bounce it in order to 1, draw a card, 2, flicker it so that I can name like Field of the Dead, or I could name Blast Zone if they don't activate. I think this turn they might want to activate Alpine Moon, or sorry, Blast Zone to get rid of Alpine Moon, but we'll see. We'll see. This Oath of Teferi plus Planeswalkers is just absolutely bonkers, and it makes actually the lines really difficult to determine what we want to do. Alright, what do you got for me, opponent? Do you have the Great Ugin? The Great Ugin. Well, they're tapping, so that's a good sign. Tireless Tracker. Okay. Plays a land. Field of the Dead. Triggers. Tireless Tracker. This doesn't do anything because of Narset. Another reason I wanted to keep Narset around. They don't do anything with this Blast Zone just yet. I'm going to say no to this. I like that Teferi. That's a good Teferi. Alright, let's go up here. Let's attempt to bounce Alpine Moon and see what they think about us doing this. If I do this, they're going to have a Lumbering Falls. It's probably okay here. At most, Blast Zone's going to 3 if they decide to go upwards with it. Let's look first. Let's do some looking first. Okay, so we can take a Chandra Awakened. We can't technically cast her just this moment. Let's go up twice with this Jace. Let's go ahead and go down one more time with this Narset. Okay, Sarkha Masterless. Let's go up here again. I feel like I'm just supposed to go up all the way here. Cast Teferi. Gain a life. Uptick, uptick. Draw a card, draw a card. Ooh. Yes. Unmoored Ego is an excellent one here. So I've double upticked this. I think I have to just unmoored Ego and name Ugin, because I think Ugin's how they get out of this. So this becomes a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They had 8 last turn. Can I wait 1 turn on unmoored Ego? They're going to get an extra draw here. I think we're good to go ahead and cast Unmoored Ego, naming Ugin. I think it's just a safer play here. Ugin. The Spirit Dragon, right? Let me make sure I get this one. Judge, can I see Oracle text on Ugin the Spirit Dragon? Of course. He is Giant Planeswalker Nastiness. Thank you. Alright. I'll take Ugin. They had 1 in the deck. They have a Veto, they have an Hour of Promise, and they have a Teferi here. Okay. That's fine. What else do we have in here? Okay. A couple Sphinxes, all that good stuff. Alright, we'll say okay to this. Dove and Veto, Hour of Promise. All the good things. I think we're done activating stuff, so we'll pass the turn. This has been double ticked up right now, so yeah. We'll just skip these activations here. So it looks like they're going to put this up to 3 here. So 3 gets rid of Narset, and it gets rid of Teferi. But it keeps my Alpine Moon. So they have a Dove and Veto. That's what they kind of want here. I would imagine that is what they're looking to utilize here. At the same time, they might just try to get this blast zone high enough so that this Teferi doesn't just nuke them as well. So, what was it? Teferi, Dovin Veto, Hour of Promise. Hour, Teferi 3, and Dovin Veto. Since it doesn't reveal the cards on Mordigo. It just has one Ugin. And by the way, it was a one of that they drew. A one of. Unless they sided them out. So their land draw was their draw for the turn was a Hallowed Fountain. This Narset prevents the clues, but they can always tag it here if they would like to with Tracker. Then they can do some drawing if they would like. They have to really think about this though, because they probably want to play their own Teferi down. They'd love to get rid of this Teferi. They could cash in 2 clues and make this 3, 4, 5. So it would attack for 3. Can't kill much of anything. Tireless Tracker is going to come in here. I imagine killing Narset here so they get the draws off the clue. The other thing is they could just blast zone it away, so this seems almost silly to do this if they were planning the blast zone. Deciding to go after Jace here. It's an interesting play. Not where I would have gone. We'll see though. We'll see how it plays out. Doesn't draw with clue. Okay. Just makes Tireless Tracker bigger. Maybe they've forgotten about Narset. I think they've forgotten. Perhaps they've forgotten. Alright, Jace takes 2, goes to 4. Teferi. Down ticking here on Alpine or any of these really doesn't do too much. This kind of stops me for a turn here. Search for Skanta. I don't need another Teferi. We can bend that. Land. We'll replay our fires. And really at this point, they can make this go to 4, but I'm just going to uptick twice with this Teferi over here and plan to Supreme Verdict them. And we have the Fae of Wishes for next turn if we want to do anything cool. Up, 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 up. We'll use Verdict here because they could crack one more clue, making Tracker too large. Okay, we can just untap some of our lands here. Why not? So this Teferi is at 8. They can put this up to 4. I can go up with Teferi and then down with Teferi and keep Teferi around, which seems sort of brutal to our opponent. Every time we draw with Teferi, we just start taking things. If I find another Teferi, I could just down tick and then replay Teferi and uptick, bounce something. Yeah. just take everything. Alright, this Teferi is out of hand. The Dovin Veto doesn't do anything right now. Hour of Promise is not the most powerful card. And it's interesting that the Alpine Moon is actually naming Lumbering instead of Field of the Dead, but I think that was the right play earlier. Because they went up with Blast Zone as well, they didn't get to crack a clue on my turn, gaining them an extra card here. I want to say we have this one, which is good, considering we thought we had game 1. I'd like to take this one and go into game 3 here, especially with our clocks looking as they are. I think we can play just a touch faster than our opponent. We'll see. We'll see. This deck is definitely a blast to play. I don't believe there was another card to worry about, and their main win condition was clearly Field of the Dead. This is like a backup win condition through Lumbering Falls. Oh no, they've disconnected. That's not very good for them, especially with their clock. Well, we'll hydrate while they're disconnected. Oh, they're back. Okay, they're back. We won't hydrate. We'll hydrate between rounds. They rejoined so fast. Their clock went way up. That's interesting. Do you get added time? Alright. Last zone's for 4 here, getting rid of my Fires of Invention. That's about all they got rid of. We'll see where this leads them. Hour of Promise. Okay, so I have a Deafening Clarion here. Some Field of the Deads. Okay, I think we'll be good here though. Say okay to this. We'll say no. I would like to keep that. We can go ahead and flip. Okay, let's go up to draw one more card. Let's get an emblem. Let's cast Fires now. We will then cast a Clarion. Let's go ahead and draw a card. We can bounce their clue. We can target the Lumbering Falls here. Next turn, what we can do is we can uptick with Teferi. Oops. I missed one activation of my other Teferi here. I think it will be okay though. What I should have done there is bounced Alpine Moon and I can't replay it. I've already played 2 things for the turn. Waiting's probably okay there. Okay. So. We have to win in 7 minutes. I feel like we can. Like, this was just easily just play Sarkon and swing for 4, 8, 12. So, let's try to do that. Alpine Moon was excellent. The Plague still feels like it should be in the sideboard for Fae of Wishes. I see the value of like a Deploy the Gatewatch. But we'll just run it back. We'll run it back. I am a filthy YouTube only, finally. I am... Are you saying filthy? Alright, can I keep this? No. No third land. We are in the draw. We'll go ahead and keep this. See if these Teferis can draw us into what we need. Glad you can catch the stream. Good luck on our games. Thanks. Thank you. We'll try. Did you really call yourself I'm a filthy YouTube only? You're okay. Don't think that of you if that's what you were implying. Oh boy, we have a lot of Teferis here. I don't need this many. I need a land ASAP here. What do we got? A Dovin's Veto across the way? Cool. Come on, land. That's 2 draws in. Growth Spiral. Needing land ASAP. There's a field. Tireless Tracker. Well, I can kill that with a land. I probably will kill it with a land here. My opponent's running out of cards. I can't kill it. Not looking good. 3 cards deep. Missing all land drops so far. And this is now out of reach if they double pop clues here. I guess I can play Teferi and bounce it. Rejuvenator here. Blast Zone. Alright. Four clues here. Yum's a clue. Alright, I need to hit my land, obviously. Hitting a land in Clarion is probably our best play. Come on. Land, please. There we go. Alright. Well, we're in the game, albeit barely. But maybe with Oko here, maybe with Oko we can do something here. Feel the Dead triggering already on turn 5. It's good. It's good. Alright, land here is nice. I can cast the fires. I might just cast fires into... I'm almost tempted to just do Unmoored Ego to avoid the Ugin again. Let's do it. And then I can play 2 Planeswalkers next turn. I guess they could have a counter here. Maybe that's the reason to play Teferi. But we'll make them have it. Ugin the Spirit Dragon, get out of here. Alright, Sphinx plus Temple. Did they bring anything else in? We have a couple Detention Spheres. We didn't see those. Teferis, Sphinxes. So my opponent's just going to draw a bunch of cards here. But really, we just have the Field of the Dead to beat, it looks like. So Teferi plus Oko here might be really good. Teferi plus Clarion could also be okay. They have to decide if they want to pop clues or if they want to put this up to 4. I think I'm okay with them up to 4. They decide to Sphinx's Rev, though. They may not know where to put Blast Zone at this point. Might be waiting for like an Alpine Moon to take care of it that way. They have D spheres for that as well. I mean, if this is the only 2 zombies we're fighting against, it might be just Teferi bounce 1 Oko. Do Oko things. The clock is not my opponent's friend right now. We'll see though. 2 going to 14. We could also make a bunch of Elks and then Clarion them to gain life. Has their own Teferi. Bounces fires here. Does so. Okay. So I can replay fires here and then play Teferi. Bounce one of their... Ooh. We could Teferi... They have Blast Zone open here. Let's go ahead and attempt the fires here. If they have the counter, they have the counter. It doesn't appear they do. Let's just cast a Teferi here and gain a life and bounce a token here. Maybe encourage Blast Zone to get a little higher. Nice. Alright. Jace Architect is an okay card. It'll help stave off some of the zombies. It can help me find an answer too to this Blast Zone. If this Blast Zone goes up, I'm going to Alpine Moon the field. Nice. Okay, so I got to deal with Teferi now that can bounce my Alpine Moon. They're going to attack Jace. Or, sorry, Teferi here. Jace is in hand. What are we going to do? Hour of Promise. Tireless Tracker. Okay. Land. Hour of Promise. Alright, so this turn I think is fairly straightforward. We're going to Wrath the board and Alpine Moon. I think that's where we want to be. Teferi can go up here, and that means Teferi is going to be able to activate on this Alpine Moon soon. But my opponent's tapped out here. We're not in fear of getting any counters. Fail Wishes is interesting. Because I could go get the Plague as well. I could get the Plague as well, and then I have an Alpine Moon plus the Plague. We could hold this for now. Let's go ahead and Clarion. I could always Teferi bounce this as well, and then play Alpine Moon behind it. That seems actually reasonable. It draws me a card too. And if I draw a land, I could even Jace. Get another Teferi. Let's play Oko now. And then we'll play an Alpine Moon. We're doing it all up. And an Alpine Moon for Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead. Say okay. Looks good. All right. We're at 4 minutes. My opponent's at 3. We'll have 6 through this turn. D-Sphere is a little bit of a frightening card, but we'll worry about that in a sec. We got one thing at a time. Tireless Tracker. All right. Well, luckily I have Teferi, or I can Oko it. So it just becomes a 3/3. Growth Spiral. All right. Growth Spiral was just a cantrip. Okay. Okay. This is a really grindy matchup. I really want to win this one too. Winning this one would be nice. Sideboard, do I have anything? I could go get an Elder Spell, which would kill this Teferi. All right. We could exchange. All right, so this is an up. Elder Spell is kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and do... We got to play reasonable here. Let's Fires of Invention. I kind of want to swap this and the Tireless Tracker here. They can have a food token. That's A-okay with me. Let's see here. What's the other play? Because I already played one spell this turn, right? Because I played the Fires. So here I need to probably just play like a Jace and dig. Take a turn to dig here. Oh, it's some lands. Choose a pile to put into your hand. I'll take more lands. We'll scry. I don't think so. I don't think it would fizzle anything. We'll put that on top of our library. That's a win condition. We'll get our clue. Because we are swapping a food token with our Tireless Tracker. Checks on resolution. That's true. That's true. Maybe they just want to do something else here. That's true. They have clue tokens, you're saying increase it, and then we don't get to swap with Tireless Tracker. Probably. Alright, so they return Alpine Moon to hand here. I guess they're just going to blow up everything? Is that what they're going to do? They definitely could have probably made it fizzle. But maybe our opponent's trying to play a little bit quick as well. There, I got 1 minute. It's kind of like the end of the round. Alright, Field of the Dead triggers. Trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Luckily for us, we have the... we have Lady Luck on top. Smashing that F2 button. Field of this. Alright. Removes everything. Plays a Grazer. Field of the Dead. Trigger, 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 trigger. Okay. So we have Chandra here. We can cast this with Fires of Invention and a Teferi if we'd like. We can go up here. We can cast... We'll do Chandra first. We'll clear the board here. What's nice about this is that we can probably do a lot more than just the Teferis and stuff. Let's see here. Let's cast Teferi as well. We'll keep our Alpine Moons safe for a turn. We'll bounce a clue here. And pass the turn. So we can board wipe plus Alpine Moon next turn, and then we can use our Planeswalkers more efficiently. Give them a chance to desphere us or do something strange. Nice. Alright, Detention Spheres. Chandra. It's pretty good. Luckily, I get to Supreme Verdict plus Alpine Moon here, so we're covered. We're covered. I don't think my opponent can beat me in 30 seconds, but we'll see. Triggers. They need to put this trigger on the bottom. There you go. There you go, opponent. You got it. Because here plus Alpine Moon plus Supreme Verdict, I think from here I should be able to then search for Possibility Storm and hardlock them. There's a Lumbering Falls here too, so we'll see. All the triggers. I really don't think this matters because I just Supreme Verdict here. I'll go ahead and reveal the hand. But I just Supreme Verdict Alpine Moon. I can like uptick here and downtick this to look for the Teferi as well. I just don't think we're losing. It is based on time here, but I think we got this one. Because I can also search for his Kanta afterwards, like Fae and search, or Fae into Possibility Storm. And we have there is a Lumbering Falls here that I have to deal with, but I'm upticking Jace while doing this, so it becomes a 2. Uptick to Teferi. Maybe it doesn't quite get there, but I think we're in a good position personally. Wow. It's a lot of things. I feel finally good beating that deck because I never beat that deck. Never beat it. It's impossible to beat. Boy, oh boy, is this deck taxing, though. A lot of activations, a lot of things to keep reminders of. If you play this in paper, definitely be very cautious to not accidentally double up on something that you're not supposed to. It sure is the anti-fun? No. We'll keep this hand. We have another deck that is the anti-fun. Maybe we'll play that after this one. This one is fun and does allow our opponent to interact. Our other deck, it's starting to get there. Starting. Hey, Fambo, thank you for the follow. Oh, the field decks? Yeah, I don't like the field decks. It's just ramp. It's very Titan Shift-like. I don't like them. All right, Temple here. Ooh, it's an interesting card. Lets me go get a lot of interesting things out of the sideboard. I think I'm going to still bottom it because I have this as content. We'll play with main board stuff this game. Island. I don't believe I'm going to need my red mana here. So search for Jeskai. Go ahead, opponent. We can play Hallowed Fountain tapped probably next turn. Looks like control Jeskai, Phoenix, blue-white, some of the things off an island. It's a little harder to figure out what your opponent's doing immediately because your opponents don't give as much information away with their lands initially. I would not like to put that into my graveyard. Hallowed Fountain tapped. Go ahead. We'll keep search for his content in case they blow this one up. In case they blow it up. That light behind me is bothering me. It's almost too pink. We're going to drop it back to a purple. I think it looks too pink because I have kind of red up here. So we fixed it. All right, my opponent is probably some version of a lock deck involving Narset because we see this Geyer. I'm going to say no to putting this into our graveyard as well. I am going to go ahead and try for the Fires of Invention. If this resolves, we're in great shape. But if it doesn't resolve, it's probably okay. An Opt here is a good sign, especially because double blue is probably the scarier of the cards. Cool. Cast Jace here, and we're definitely going to use Jace for value. Oh, I would like that Drawn from Dreams, please. I will take that Drawn from Dreams. Thank you. Any order. All right, we're going to try to pick up the pace a little bit here because this deck is taking us a little bit longer to play than we like because we do want that buffer of time when we're playing online. Let's see what they got. A cast out on what? Fires? Cast out on fires. Okay. Would I like to put this into your graveyard? No, I need a land. So, in uptick here to keep this around, play Teferi, bounce cast out here. Play Drawn from Dreams. Value? Value? Ooh, that worked out nicely. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Some things. Some things. What is my opponent doing? Control. Might have creatures. Didn't really show us them. Played a cast out. Let's bring Narset in. I don't know what to name with Unmoored Ego. We can probably leave that in the side. Sarkon's probably okay here. Deploy the Gatewatch seems reasonable. Merciless Eviction even seems fine over like Supreme Verdicts and Clarions. I mean, I guess like what? Gideon's Intervention and maybe like Elder Spell. And leave the Fae of Wishes in here in case I need to grab a Wrath effect. And I'll leave the Fae of Wishes for a Possibility Storm. Possibility Storm might be an interesting one if they're counter magic based, I suppose. Alright, we have the Fires. We have an Oko here. We're going to keep this. Can't cast Oko at the moment, but I can cast the Fires. I'm expecting a lot of counter spells from my opponent. Temple to lead off. I'm going to put this on top. We don't have a way to shuffle into our deck. It slows me down by not drawing something more actionable here. But that being said, I'd almost rather have this as a potential follow-up to the Fires of Invention. Maybe our opponent will tap out and I get to play Deploy and get something really good going. Azorius Charm for our opponent. Tempo deck across from us, very clearly. They got those cast outs and all those good stuff. Alright, bonus fires, that's good. I can do fires and to deploy the Gatewatch here. We have 5 mana, I just need 1 more mana for this deploy. I do have double white already. The Great Oko. If cast out is their way of getting rid of a Fires of Invention, then I at least get 1 activation out of my Oko. Or sorry, out of my Fires of Invention for my Oko. And we are going to go ahead and give this a shot. I do have that Narset. That's kind of a nice card, but maybe I played that Narset. This is probably getting countered, though. Countered. Nice. Nice. Basic Land Shark, how's it going? Ooh, tap out. Nope, just a Narset. Okay, so they get a Narset. We have a Narset. They have a Teferi. We have nothing else. Let's attempt Fire's Invention number 2, see if they have a veto. There it is. Cool. All right, so next one up is deploy the Gatewatch, it looks like. It's going. Bonus veto here. All right, so I have to bait something else out here. They don't draw. Okay. What's in the sideboard that we would want? Nothing. Let's start with a Narset here. This should be enough of a bait to get something going. This should get the Dovin veto out. Okay. We'll play our land tapped and pass turn. Okay. So at this point, opponent doesn't really have too many cards. We're kind of whittling them down. They do draw with Teferi. If they have no counterspell, this deploy the Gatewatch seems good. If they do have a counterspell, which feels likely, deploy is not going to do a whole lot for us. All right. Let's try for it. Counter. It's a pretty good counter against us. We'll pass. Cycle's a cast out. Cycle's a cast out. Maybe we'll hit our. Maybe we will hit Chandra. If we just find Chandra naturally, we can just start giving them a gift every turn. Upticks Teferi, plays Teferi. So these are the Teferis I would name. If I get a land, I could play this. They're gonna untap lands and have counter magic up. Temple. Bottom. I don't have a way to actually cast that card. I think we can probably go to game 3. Now that we know they have a million Teferis here. We'll take one more draw. Just to humor our deck slightly here. Eslepth, huh? That was actually a good one to see. They down-ticked Eslepth. BM. The BM. Alright. We'll concede this one. The Elder Spell is definitely a card we want, and we do have that. I don't think I have much else other than maybe the Unmoored Ego. And name one of theirs Planeswalkers and just take the Fae of Wishes out. Maybe I even just run the Possibility Storm. That just gets really kind of crazy. We'll keep 2 Fae of Wishes, Possibility Storm, and all that. Nice lands. Got a couple shiny ones over there. Borden, rest in peace. Why? Why? All right, we'll keep this. A lot of tap lands here. Bottom that. Go ahead, opponent. A Teferi would be nice to protect the Fire of Invention coming down. We'll see if we can't find said Teferi. This is a bummer to put this Bolas to the bottom, but we do not want that Bolas. No, we do not. Alright, so they have veto available to them. We'll keep scrying here. Bottom that. We'll find the land that we want. I wonder if I'm gonna even get a chance to do the fires here. Maybe they tap out for their own Teferi. Doesn't look like they want to. Okay. Well, we'll jam it because we got 2 of them. This is probably getting countered. Cool. So I attempted to jam it because we have 2 of them. I'm very afraid of something here on 4. Sculpt the perfect Fire's Hand. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and play a Jace here next. We're gonna try to play around some things here. We're gonna try to get this Fires down. If it was a Syncopate, it was gonna be for 2 anyway. So it was fine to play the tap land. That's fine. Architect the perfect Fire's Hand. Alright, so we have a Jace down. Alright, so we're going to split cards for them. You can have an Absorb or lands. Alright, so we can Fires of Invention here and probably Drawn from Dreams. If we top deck a really nice card here, we can do Fires plus that card. So it's Fires here. And then Drawn from Dreams. And we'll take 2 cards. Alright, so we have Gideon's Intervention, Bolas, Teferi. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have 7. So we can Bolas plus Teferi. I'm afraid they're going to just cast out us, but we'll go ahead and try Teferi and Bolas here. Alright, you have a cast out opponent. Nico plus Teferi. Try to get Teferi down. They got to counter that first, right? They have an Absorb that we're aware of. Spyglass here. Well, they get to check out the hand now. They'll probably name Bolas and allow Teferi to resolve. Spyglass was a nice one. That names their own Teferi if they name this. If they don't name this Teferi and I played the Teferi, I can bounce the Spyglass, then play Bolas. Bolas has loyalty abilities of all other Planeswalker on the battlefield. My opponent is thinking about this one. They haven't named anything with Spyglass just yet. You can't draw, right? Can't draw. Why can't I draw? So they have a Bolas named here. So they are leaving up Absorb. I can draw. Fires of Invention lets me draw cards. Alright, so Beacon's down. I could play this Narset and go look for something else and try to get around the Absorb. Idiot Inhibitor. Let's cast Narset first. Let's see if this intrigues my opponent enough. It does not. Alright, let's look for cards. So we can play new Teferi here. Or bigger Teferi. That gets absorbed, right? That's fine, though. We will attempt to cast big Teferi here. This should take the absorb. We're trying to get this Teferi down later. Oh. Oh. Okay. Sure. I'll take that win. I don't think we're close to winning at all. They absorb this. Down tick with Jace. I have to give them another counterspell. We draw a Teferi next turn. Well, drawing a Teferi next turn was probably pretty good if they don't decide to do this. They absorb this and then they get another counterspell. I have Teferi'd into Teferi, which is good because that protects everything else. Off Narset, we were going to hit Oath of Teferi as well. It's pretty good. Okay. There you go. Doing pretty mighty fine. Mighty fine. Let's go. Next match. It's working out. It's working out. Oh. 2 more matches. 2 more. This is one wild deck. There's a lot of things going on in this one. My brain's going sideways. So we won't be playing too late into the night. We actually have to go to bed for a 5K that we're going to run in or walk in tomorrow. Let me double check on the dog here too. Make sure she's doing all right. She's doing good. She has her bandage on. She should be getting that off on Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday. All right. We have found an opponent. I would like to play first. That's always nice. Ooh. All right. Let's keep, because I have a Clarion, and one of the things that this deck seems to struggle with is getting to the later game. It's bottom of land and past turn. I would like to find different lands if possible. Plains for our opponent and a Soldier of the Pantheon. Protection from multicolored. Fires of Invention is a good top deck. Fae of Wishes. I'm wondering if I need a blocker. Would I need a blocker is the question. Protection from multicolored is kind of annoying. Let's go ahead and... You know what? Let's put this on top. I'll plan to cast it as a blocker, and I can put a land into play tapped again. And then we'll have just a nice little blocker there for a few turns. So the Bolas Battalion. 2 other creatures... Whenever it and at least 2 other creatures attack, something gets +2/+2. So we got like mono white going on across from us. I wonder if there's anything sideboard that I would prefer to have here. I don't think so. I think, I mean, I could go get like a Supreme Verdict. Tap land. You know what? I'm going to pass the turn. I don't think they're going to just outright kill me here with this Pantheon. It feels like just a nice, solid 1-drop here. Okay. Knight. Here is probably a great place to either Fae of Wishes or Deafening Clarion after I do the Fires of Invention here. Kind of clear the board a little bit. I can go get a Supreme Verdict at any point. I think we're in good shape here. Oh. Oh. Supreme Verdict off the top. We'll just cast that. We'll just cast that. That should get rid of everyone. Need to use before they slam Dauntless. Too bad, opponent. Alright. Well, sideboard-wise... I mean, there's not really anything I want. play this in tapped here, and I don't want anything from my sideboard. Not yet. Oh, I guess I could go get a Sarkon. That's kind of an interesting card to have here. I mean, I could go get a Supreme Verdict as well. Even Merciless is interesting because it's exile. I guess we just hang tight. Let them rebuild their board. Third Clarion. I mean, I don't need to when I can just do a Merciless Eviction on my opponent. Or a Supreme Verdict. And I don't have to show them I have that. If they play nothing else into this board state, I can just Chandra here. Chandra gain 2. And Jace now too. So, cast Chandra here, gain 2. Probably just deal the 3 damage here. If something goes awry, I can Clarion it as well. Let's clear the board again here. I suppose that they can do this castle, but I'm probably going to play, what, Jace and Uptick? Oh, okay. Small problems are small problems. Protection from red. Alright, we'll cast Jace here. And we're going to just uptick with Jace to try to keep Chandra alive here. This does not create a token. They'll need another Banalish Marshal. Or a Hasty Threat. Okay. So I guess we're going to have to Fae of Wishes Supreme Verdict. Brave is a good card. Brave is a good protection spell here. Alright, so they have another Knight here. I'm okay with this card so far. I'd like to see them tap out and then I could just Clarion. But I don't think they're going to tap out here. We're going to be giving them the gift of Chandra soon. Okay. So that works. Chandra's at 1. They have another Brave the Elements, I think. So let's uptick here. Let's uptick. Let's cast Granted here. Let's go get my Supreme Verdict. I mean, I guess I can exile too. 6, right? Let's just do Merciless here. Exile all creatures. That way they don't get me with some strange indestructible. And here we go. So I'll definitely be bringing in the Supreme, the Clarion, probably just the Merciless as well. Chandra will give the Gift of Flames to my opponent here. You know what's cool about this card? It has Chandra's abilities as well. Pretty nasty stuff coming there. Alright, so Deafening, Supreme Verdict here, and probably the Merciless. I almost want to put Kaya in here as well. Just get rid of the Fae of Wishes and just bring like this stuff in. And then like find a way to get maybe Kaya in here, or even just to deploy the Gatewatch. I can see in this matchup where Teferi is probably not the best. That could be deploy plus Kaya here. Maybe I can find a place for Sarkon here. Do I need to be doubling down? Doubling down is probably okay. Let's get rid of one search and bring in Sarkon as well. Blockers are nice in this matchup. Teferi's tempo plays would be nice. I'm going to look to get my Interplan or Beacons probably and try to get Oko going. And after Oko, if I can just get some Wrath effects, it'll be nice. Brave the Elements will be the worst card for us because some of our Wraths are damage oriented. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I like this list. We saw it a while ago and I wanted to play it, but I chatted to a teammate It's like, hey, this looks like your kind of thing. And so they played it, and now we're playing it. That's right. That's right. And this one probably will be up on YouTube. Probably, maybe, sort of, kind of. Our mono white player is trying to figure out what to do here. Trying to figure it out. Alright, well I have a Deafening Clarion. We're going to go ahead and go for that. Merciless Eviction's a little high, but I'm good with the big black sun. I like the art on this, the like orb. It's really cool. Alright. Opponent's mulled to 6. Not very good for them, being probably the more aggressive deck here. Ouch. The pinch. Down to 6. How far are we gonna go? How far are we gonna go? The 6 must be a very tough 6. So what have you been playing, Basic Land Shark? You've been playing Pioneer? I know, I think the last time I checked in on you, you were playing some Modern, I think. You had your fancy logo over here, too. We gotta add that in sometime. Plains. Soldier. Soldier play again. Temple of Triumph here. We'll bottom this card. Need something other than just a bunch of temples. The temples are interesting, though. They smooth out the draws just ever so slightly. Second Plains here. Kytheon. It's pretty good. And a Dauntless Bodyguard. Choosing Kytheon. Alright, this Clarion's getting weaker and weaker here. Especially since this is going to flip. Since that's going to flip, we can bottom Eslepth, not what we need right now. This is a 4/4 when he flips. Alright, so Clarion is definitely happening here. I've got to clear the board of something. Kytheon flips. They're going to give something indestructible here. I would imagine indestructible. They do. So we might be just dead. I can kill just one thing. And then they get us. 3, 6, 10. Dang. Turn 4. Alright. They get us on turn 4. That's a pretty nuts draw, too. Alright. I think I'm too high up on the curve now. I'm gonna need like Teferis to bounce stuff. To tempo them out to get me. I might just need to bring the Fae of Wishes back in here and be a little bit lower to the ground than I thought I was needing to be. Gets rid of deploy. Let's get rid of a... Let's bring the Merciless Eviction back out because we can go get that with the Fae. I get rid of the Search for Riskanto. Search for Riskanto seems too slow. So we're going to bring the Faes back in as blockers because clearly we need them immediately. Alright, let's play first. Alright, there's a Fae. I don't have an Oko cast type of thing. I have 2 large drops here. I think I have to mulligan this looking for something a little bit lower. Okay, we'll keep this because I can get rid of the Teferi, big Teferi. We have a tempo play. And we have some cards that are going to help smooth out our draws. Let's see if they go crazy here. Gotta put Chandra to the bottom and need something quicker, faster, and more immediate than that. We'll see if this is that Pantheon again, or it's Mardu Woe Reaper. So they're gonna try to gain some life here. Play Temple. We're gonna bottom a Temple. I need something other than that. Kytheon here. Dauntless. Alright, so we have another one of these turns. I think I need a shock land or something. Okay, so I do get my shock land here. I guess I'm bouncing Kytheon. That way this Dauntless is just not as useful here. And if we draw into like a land Supreme Verdict or a... Well, there's the Supreme Verdict. I need an untapped land probably. We have all the pieces here. Maybe their attention will be drawn to Teferi for a turn. Castle. Thraben. Okay. Clue token. Swings, probably at Teferi. At Teferi. Okay. Deafening Clarion was a really nice top deck. We'll see if they have the Brave. I'm gonna put the land on top. I do kind of need some lands here. Do you have the Brave elements? If they don't, we're good. If they do, the worst. No! Alright, we got rid of one of Brave elements, I suppose. Protection from white this time, not necessarily black. Alright, so we get to Fires plus Supreme Verdict here. Hoping they don't have too much that makes them indestructible. That is something they can have. It is 1 mana typically. We'll see. Knight gets a land here. Enters tapped or not? Nope, just enters. Enters and exists. Enters and exists here. All right, so I have a couple options here. One thing I have is I could just Fires of Invention plus Jace and uptick Jace. He'll go to 5 and they won't have too much here. I'm trying to almost get to Merciless Eviction because that would be much better than the Supreme Verdict right now. Let's go ahead and attempt Fires here. Upticking with this Jace just feels correct. It'll shrink everything down a little bit. Crack a clue. We'll play our land here. We're almost wishing for one more land. I have bottomed a few. Alright, do your worst, opponent. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. If they have an Anthem type effect here, it's not very good for us, but then they'd be sending everything at Jace, which buys us kind of a Fog-esque turn. Because then if they have the Anthem effect here, they'd be 2, 4, 6, and then 2 to me. Jace, Architect of Thought, he's pretty good. He's pretty good Planeswalker from Return to Ravnica. Alright, so they did have the Anthem effect. Best thing here would probably be to draw a land. Fae of Wishes into a way to exile the board. So it's 2, 4, 5, and 2 to me. 7. I'm going to 7. Triggers. Alright, land please. Nice. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do the granted side of this. I would like to go get a card. I would like to go get the Merciless Eviction Merciless Eviction, exile all creatures. I would love to try Supreme Verdict, but I die here if I do. At least I get to do that on their turn. They'll play that Kytheon I bounced earlier, hopefully. And then I can try to Supreme Verdict it if they don't just leave up 3 mana for it. I can also cast a blocker, which is nice. Alright, Selfless Spirit, Kytheon. Okay. It's pretty good. Alright, let's cast with Invention here. They'll sack Selfless Spirit, which is fine. It's not great, but fine. I'm going to play down the Fae of Wishes. We're going to pass with the card in hand. It doesn't really matter that I'm showing or whatever. I could also block, discard, and do some things here. And somehow maybe get like a Sarkhan or even just the Kaya out. So we'll kind of play towards potentially that line if possible. They're going to exile creature card. That's fine here. Alright. So we have Kytheon Soldier. Okay. Oath of Teferi. I don't really want to be casting that just yet. But I do get to exile 2 creatures. But that doesn't get me there. So I can pick both of these up. I can discard, then I can cast this, play, and get Kaya, and down tick on Kytheon. I take 4, 5, 6 possibly. If I pick this up, I'm going to gain life by doing that too. I could Narset. I have a feeling they have like... But they could have a Brave the Elements, and if they have the Brave the Elements, they just pro Kaya here. They can make this indestructible. I could also get deploy the Gatewatch and see if I can hit 2 Planeswalkers that matter. I kind of want to try to hit 2 Planeswalkers that matter. Knowing I'm getting rid of this Oath. But if I hit 2 Planeswalkers that matter, I guess I'm not gaining life. I think it's maybe the highest probability of doing something very interesting here, though. I guess if I'm doing this, though, then well, I get to cast it, so... Alright, we're going to go with that line. We'll get to deploy the Gatewatch here. And we're going to go for extra value here. Here we go. I need some good Planeswalkers here. I need some good ones. Top 7. Let's go. Jace plus Teferi would be probably good here. Oh my gosh, I hit 1. I hit 1. I can kill this. Because I can't cast the Fae of Wishes back. I suppose I'm supposed to kill this. I hit only 1 walker. Ugh. I can get rid of the card in hand. But then this can flip, and I don't want this flipping. Let's attempt to kill this, and if they have the Brave Elements, I think they were probably winning. We'll find out what that last card is right here. That's something. Yeah, it was Brave the Elements. So even if I got the Kaya here down ticking... Okay, so they can hit me for 2 here, and then they get a Kytheon. Plus they'd have the castle activation as well. This is looking very dire at the moment. I could go after theirs and try to grab something. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they think they've got it in the bag and they attack 2 here. Maybe. I think I'm going to 1 though. 2. Oh, okay. They do go after Bolas here. They're gonna flip Kytheon. Okay, I'm at 5. I like being at 5 more than I do at other things. It makes something indestructible here. Okay. Interesting. This is a reasonable card. I'll go ahead and cast. I'll gain a life. It's interesting because it really does let me dig here. So I have a Teferi or a Supreme. Zonatog. Hey, thank you for the host. So Teferi bounces Gideon. They make another dude here. Supreme Verdict's only killing 1 thing. So Teferi it is. Cast with intervention here. They gain life. I gain life. That's one reason to get the Teferi. I'm going to go ahead and bounce Gideon here. Oh, I can't bounce Gideon. Well, I can bounce this dude. That's right. Not Planeswalkers. Ooh. Eslepth could pull us back into this. This is what? 4? It's a 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no. We needed Eslepth first, not Teferi. We needed 1 more down. Bummer. I guess I needed the blocker more than I needed the Teferi here. The blocker blocks Gideon here. It gives me another draw. It's tough. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Especially with how well the deck's been playing so far. Well, we'll take a loss. Their game 2 is pretty ridiculous. That would have been good too, uptick. Then we would have been probably fine from there because we would have had Eslepth. We needed this Eslepth down and then we'd have blockers. Oh my goodness. I think I punted that one away, possibly. If I put the Fae down, the following turn I draw that. And then I have Teferi plus the Eslepth, I gain extra life. I would have been at 6. They would have had 5 damage because I wouldn't have bounced the creature. So we still would have gone to 1. It would have been very close. It would have been very close. Alright. Playing against Zoot here. Ooh, that's not a good hand. All right. Bad hand, one land. Mulligan. Easy mulligan. I said it was an easy mulligan. It's an easy mulligan. All right. We'll keep this. Eslepth gone. We'll do Narset gone. Tap land, pass the turn. At least I can get a Teferi down pretty quick. See if we can't use that to our advantage. Gilded Goose. An Oko. We can do Oko things. We can finally do this. We finally, after this is our 5th match, we're finally gonna get to be able to cast Oko. Record, oh, MTG bot died. Record is 3-1. Currently 3-1. It died. It went away. It was right below me. Uh-oh. That's not good. Hangerback Walker. Okay. Let's go ahead and Clarion this. It gets rid of the Gilded Goose, and it only makes 1 token here with Hangerback Walker instead of more. A little afraid of Hangerback or Walker going to town on us. There's the record. Well, it's sort of coming back. Maybe? Gilded Goose. Again. More food. Hangerback Walker. It's like we just saw all this. We saw all of these cards. Why are they back? Why are they back? Alright, let's go ahead and use the Drawn from Dreams here. It is sorcery speed. This way I can set up our next turn. Let's see here. We can take Deafening Clarion. And a land? Could be Teferi. Let's take a Drawn from Dreams here. Plan to Clarion them. This Hangerback might grow here. Clarion them again. Then maybe use Teferi the following turn to bounce or Drawn from Dreams. Feel like we're in a bit of a pickle here with our opponent. And our opponent's drawing lots of lands. 4 mana here. Another Hangerback Walker. Heads for 1. Alright, Beacon. I feel like this is just another Wrath here. They'll have 3 creatures left over, but I don't want the Hangerbacks just growing here. Uh-oh. What is this? Oh, they're going to grow this just slightly. That's fine. 2/2s. I'll answer that in just a little bit. Tap land. Swings are 4. So I got to deal with Copters now. Thopters, not Copters. That's a good way to do it. All right. Let's do it that way. Play Jace here. I can uptick. Gain a little bit of life. Our hero Jace. There we go. F6. All on you, my friend. Beat the Jace. I'm glad we wrathed twice. It is paying off. What is this? Dogfight. Hey, resub. Welcome back. Let's get some howls in the chat for you. How's it going, Dogfight? Dang it. Dang it. Didn't expect Gear Hulk to show up. Dogfight's doing well. They're going to put them all on this one. Yes. Did not distribute. Will bounce. Alright. So I can bounce this. This gets in though. But probably what we have to do. I think that is an appropriate thing to do. I could also just play the Fae of Wishes as a blocker for a turn, which also seems like a good thing to do. So let's go ahead and kind of go that direction. Thopter, let's see what we draw here. Another beacon, that's not bad. Let's go ahead and play the Fae of Wishes. I would like to go get something with Fae of Wishes, but I like blocking here. Oh, it's got trample. Never mind. I'm really bad at this game. It won't matter, though. It won't get through, because it's 1-4. Outplayed, opponent. Outplayed. Block. 0 damage to Jace. That felt good. That felt pretty good. What is this? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, no. Huh. Oh, no. Alright, we have a land. Going up with Teferi. This thing's a problem. Blue, blue, and then 2 colorless, and I could find a Clarion, but the Clarion doesn't kill. I probably have to set up so that I can kill this soon. So let's uptick here. Let's go ahead and get an Oko out. And then at instant speed, we'll do Drawn of Dreams to see what else they do on their turn. We'll make a food token here as well. Go ahead, opponent. So we'll see kind of where they decide to throw all their creatures here. If I can keep Teferi alive through the Drawn from Dreams, we might be looking good. Might be. Alright, let me see what those messages were, because they're... Okay. We'll answer those after this game. Answer messages after game. Goes after Jace. Goes after... All after Jace. Alright. Well, I can't block enough here, so... You good. You good, opponent. We lose Jace. Champion of Wits. So draw 2, and then discard 2. 2 lands they discard. End step, we'll go ahead and Drawn from Dreams. It's probably Fires plus Bolas here. Which one, though? I mean, I suppose neither one kills the Serpent. So Fires of Invention plus... We'll do this Bolas here. The big one. Wow. This gets interesting here. So we can Fires of Invention. I almost want an Oath of Teferi. I just need to live. That's what I need to do here. So I need 2 cards in hand for this. So it's going to be Fires of Invention here. Plus, maybe it's just Bolas. Could be just Oath of Teferi to try to get out of range as well. Let's cast the Oath of Teferi here instead of this Bolas. We get to flicker. Kind of don't care what I flicker, if I'm honest. Just flick our land. So up, up. Make a food. Create a food token. Okay. We'll pass it back. So the idea here is to keep Fae of Wishes. Return Fae of Wishes to hand, cast, and then cast something from sideboard here. Probably like Supreme Verdict to board wipe. And board wiping should be enough. Wow. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. So we can actually go get Merciless and exile artifacts and get like everything. So that's what we're gonna do here. So whatever I can potentially keep alive, I will try with the food. Otherwise, we're gonna bounce Fae of Wishes. This has haste? Oh gosh. Alright, well the play is definitely to do Fae of Wishes, exile artifacts, obviously. So we might be losing all of our planeswalkers here. But then we're top decking versus them top decking. Seems good. Sends 4 at Oko, 5 at Oko, 6 at Oko, 7 at Oko. A lot more at Oko. A lot more. So if we can keep Teferi alive, I guess Teferi... Whoa. Whoa. Opponent. They want to kill Oko. Well, I guess I can kill the champion here, and then I get to exile artifacts. And we'll just do this off the food, so I don't have some weird thing that I'm not aware of go wrong here. Right, everything was at Teferi. Yeah, or Oko. Okay. Gonna be exiling some artifacts here. Alright. Discard these two. Do the granted section here. I would like to go get a Merciless Eviction. Merciless Eviction. Exile all artifacts. I suppose I could attack for 3, but we're not going to do that. Who needs that? I could gain 3 as well, but we don't need to do that. So we have a zombie here that I can bounce to hand. Cool. And apparently this is also not an artifact because great Okoing. Great job through all that. Punt here, punt there, misplay there. Who needs to play Magic correctly? Not this guy. Should have upticked this as well. We totally did everything super incorrect here. Alright, so they get to kill Teferi here, which is pretty good for them. That was a pretty good top deck. Let's go ahead and swing. Let's just cast Fires of Invention here. We can cast this Fires of Invention as well. Now the board's cleared again. I can bounce this and go get anything else in the sideboard I want. Maybe deploy the Gatewatch here at this point. Emery. I could also go get a Rest in Peace here. Alright, let's just cast this. We can destroy Emery here. We'll gain some life. There we go. Yes. Alright, sideboard. So Rest in Peace is kind of interesting because we just saw that Emery. I like that over like our Search for Iskantas here. Deafening Clarion Supreme Verdict probably can come in. I'm thinking one Oath of Teferi out. Maybe one of the Nicoboluses. We could also look at potentially the Sarkon over the other Nicobolus here and leave everything else in the sideboard for the phase. Alright, let's see what this was about. Dark Shrooms the deck. Stream Deckers there for those that play on MTGO. And TCG's there in case you would like to buy some cards and support the stream. On YouTube, the deck list will be down in the description. Alright, we have Oko, which is pretty good. Not much else. We'll go ahead and try it, though. Hardened Scales to beat. I'll put this on top. Alright, so we have Oko, Narset, and Teferi to beat our lovely opponent here. Hangerback Walker. When it dies. The keyword dies. Steam Vents, pass the turn. Alright. What are we going to do to a Hangerback? We'll have to figure that out. There's Emery. Have a Walking Ballista now. Could use a Rest in Peace. Alright, let's go ahead and play actually Narset here and see if we can't find some sort of Wrath effect. They're gonna pump this up. Wrath or like a Rest in Peace. Well, we find Jace. Pass the turn. Hangerback's gonna be pretty big. We can bounce it with Teferi. Attacks. Kills Narset here. I expect a kill here, so this won't pump anymore, which is fine. See if they want to cash in Emery here. Well, not cash in, but play Walking Ballista from the yard. They don't. Or at least it doesn't appear they are. Gate of the Afterlife. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you gain life. Then you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Sacrifice it. Search your graveyard, hand, or library for a card named Godfarrow's Gift, which we saw. I don't like this. I don't like that at all. Alright. Let's make the Great Oko. Make the Great Oko and we'll put a Temple of Epiphany in. We're going to make this lovely artifact a thing that won't bother me. We'll put that card on top here and pass turn. So I can Fires of Invention and like Jace go searching for a removal spell. We're going to lose Oko here, but I kind of wanted to shut this off. We could also just, in this turn, what we could potentially do is bounce Hangerback. We'll see. We'll see. Emery and artifacts. It is a thing. It is a thing. It's an interesting mixture of cards. Tapping 3 mana, playing a... they have another one of these. That's not nice. Gets to cast something from the graveyard. Cast Walking Ballista to draw this card. There's God's Pharaoh Gift. So this is 7 damage, so they attack both of these to Oko. This isn't looking good. Alright, let's get a Fires of Invention down. We'll play the tap land here. And then I'm going to cast this Teferi and bounce the gate. Try to keep that in play. Ooh, Rest in Peace. Okay. So, Rest in Peace can keep the God Pharaoh's Gift from things happening. And then if Jace, or if I hit a way to destroy everything, Rest in Peace plus Destroy won't trigger Hanger back. Yes. Come on. You were sacrificed for a good cause, Teferi. For a good cause. Might I just say, by the way, Dogfight's resub was... it's a good thing. I'm very happy. Oh, Gearhulk. Help us all. We're gonna die. I wonder where they're gonna put him. All on Hangerback? Yeah. Oh, no, they split them. Between the Elk and the Hangerback. So we have an 8/8, a 5/5, and a 1/2. 5/8. Tickles Teferi. Okay, so we're at 10. That was a nice one off the top because I can play Beacon out. I can actually Rest in Peace, and then I can destroy everything but the Emery here. But that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll take it. Keeps us alive. We can say that. That's a lot of months. No joke. Exactly. Gain a little bit of life and destroy everything. Except Emery. Emery gets to hang around here, but that's okay. We'll deal with Emery in a moment. It is. I was looking at some stats today, and I might have gotten a little sad face. Crush everything. That was a good sequence of Rest in Peace into Eslepth. So we have a shot at this game. Hardened Scales. We know that Pharaoh, one of the Pharaoh things is up there. Oh gosh, it's Serpent. Oh. We'll cast Jace here. Gain. Let's go ahead and make them split cards here. I'll take Great Okoing. Oh, Great Oko. And I will Verdict. Go ahead. I'm so mean. I'm so mean. That's our 2 spells. So there's the gate. Gate to the afterlife. Alright. Up here, we'll make Oko. Play a land. And we'll make a Phew token. Go ahead, opponent. Nice. We're going to make some elks. This is actually the first time I think I'm playing with Oko. It's kind of an interesting card. There's Emery. Emery is a 1/2. Deafening Clarion. What if I just take Emery? I want Emery. Just go up here and swing. Oh wait, we can't swing. Alright, go ahead, opponent. I want an Emery. My Emery. This dies to a Walking Ballista now. Gilded Goose. Excuse me. Excuse me. Co-opponent. Alright, Drawn from Dreams. Let's start there. It's pretty nice. I think they just conceded because they can't click anything. Hey, 4-1, 4-1. Not too bad. If we would have gotten to pick something, I'm picking Chandra here. I'm probably picking maybe Teferi as well. Then uptick, uptick. Play this. Or play Chandra. Uptick. Nice. Nice. 4-1. I'll take it. Not too bad. Jeskai fires Superfriends in Pioneer. The list is interesting. So the list, it feels like almost excess. For me, I like that if I just have just the right cards, we're gonna like win the game. This feels like if you have just the right beginning, you just like steamroll your opponent. And we actually only lost to the mono white kind of aggro list, probably because I didn't play the fairy down, and if I would have played that down, then I would have had a chance to chump block for some time. So that little maybe misplay cost us the 5-0, but on the whole it did really well, and I'm pretty pleased considering that's the first time I've played it in a league. So that's off to the deck. It's pretty sweet.